So for us, what I wanted to do today was take the three people who have the most influence and maybe the most weight on them in recruiting and kind of like employing our volunteers, and I wanted to talk with them. So first will be Joy Costello. I'm gonna sit a little back so people can see your lovely face. And Joy is the leader of Refuge Kids. And so let's get a little, for us, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but kids ministry is not a holding tank. So it's not a cell that we send kids, lock them in the room, and just pray that they come out without stitches in 60 minutes, okay? For us, we believe they are people too. And so we want to meet them and know them and connect with them. And Joy has done an amazing job in leading it. But today, we are coming to you and we're saying we need help. We need help in all three of these areas we're going to talk about. So I'm going to ask each one of them, what is your desire and your need in your area? So Joy, as you think about Refuge Kids, what is your desire and your need?
Thanks. So I'll answer the question of desire first. I wrote down notes so I could remember everything. But my number one desire is the same as what our desire is as a church, would be to grow in maturity. And that takes our willingness in our work. So I think God builds us in maturity through relationships with each other, and specifically relationships that mirror his loving kindness and his joy for each other. And so we have a really unique opportunity with our kids ministry to build relationships that look like that with the kids and with the families that we serve. It's an opportunity, I think, to trust God as we freely give our time and our attention to the kids and the families. I'm sure there's a million different reasons for each one of us that could feel like risks in giving of our time in that way, but it really takes trusting in God to do that. And we tell the story to kids that they're loved and they matter, and we're willing to serve them like God has served us. Because he's poured into us, we can pour out to these kids, and then ultimately that helps to grow maturity in us. So that's my desire. And then my need, I would just maybe add on to the desire. My desire is that everyone would know what's going on in kids and that everyone would sign up to shadow in kids with me. But my need is really practical. I'd love to have 10 volunteers that were willing to serve one time a month.
So that's 10 volunteers that could serve one time a week.
One time a week.
No, your month. I'm just joking. People hear that one time a month. So you're not asking for every week. You're not asking for. You're asking for one time a month.
Just one time.
10 new people, one time a month.
10
or
new people, 5 people twice a month.
If you're good at math, you're like, that makes sense. If you're not, that's okay. We'll do the math for you. 5 people twice a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I would say, as being a youth pastor and working with kids, is what's amazing in how it matures you is sometimes, just like adults, you will have children that challenge you. And that will mature you to serve them, to love them, to trust God as he leads you to be with them. But also what's amazing when you serve kids of any age is you will meet one and they will teach you things about yourself and about God that you would not be able to be taught by another adult. It will blow your mind. It will bless you. I think we often think, man, I'm throwing the kids a bone here. I'm helping them out. But really, God is doing something massive in everyone's life back there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so great. They're really great kids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, pass the mic down to Barbara. Barbara is our leader of all things welcome and hospitality and setup and even a bunch of other stuff. I mean, thank you, Barbara, for the way you lead out. But my same question for you, when you think about inviting people in to serve, what's your desire for them? And then do you have a practical need right now that we can step up and meet?
You know, I really liked how Kyle said that Jesus came to serve. And what that brings to mind for me is at the Last Supper when he washed the feet of the disciples. He humbled himself. He served. And having served, I was really afraid to serve at first. I'll just share that with you right now. But having served and found what that feels like deep in your soul to serve others the way Jesus did, brings a special kind of humility into your life. And it brings great joy, it brings great love, and just for me, it brings a great smile to my face. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And so my desire for all of you here is that you get to feel that too. That I have been able to grow in this. I have grown closer to God through this. And it never would have happened if I had never served. So again, it's just part of being with the Lord, doing what he did, becoming more like Jesus. So that is my desire. My need? Well, let's see. I do hospitality, which is the coffee. I do the Connect table, which is helping people who are new here connect to the church. I do the welcome team, and if you can smile and say, hey, good morning, you're qualified. That's all it takes. I wash the towels after, I pick up the donuts. Now that's a desire that I have, that somebody could pick up the donut holes on Sunday morning. That would be awesome. But again, I'm just like Joy here. If I can get people to serve one time a month, it's really nice to rotate through all of those things. We all have people who are scheduled to show up that for one reason or another that morning they can't come. Even if you just want to be on a list to pinch hit, I would really appreciate that. So I honestly can't come up with a number because of all these other things that I do, but I'll take whatever I can get. And it's not just a gift to me, and it's not just a gift to Refuge. It is a gift unto yourselves to be able to do this and experience the joy in your heart that Jesus always meant us to have.
I love the one thing that you said is it was scary the first time.
It was scary,
Like,
yeah.
Barbara and I both came to faith as adults, and I remember that first time. I was like, I'm going to screw up, or I'm going to say something wrong, or I'm going to look like a fraud. And all those things go through your brain. And I think those are all ways to just kind of rob you of joy, to rob you of this opportunity. Every one of us, God puts in us an ability to serve and to love. And man, when we step out to follow him and trust him in that, it just becomes something beautiful.
It really does. It really does. And if you're scared and if you don't want to be around people, you can make coffee and stay in the kitchen the whole time. You don't have to talk to a soul. That picking up the donuts thing too, that's a solitary job. But there's something for everybody on these teams. And if you have any questions, please come talk to me.
Yeah, I love about each job you'll hear. So don't discount yourself. You're like, I'm not extroverted. Great, they all have roles. I am extroverted. Great, they all have roles. I like tech. They got roles. I don't like tech. They have roles. All right, let's go to Brittany. And it's her weekend off, so she's not supposed to sing. So you have to tell us this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I won't
You
sing
won't
my
sing out
answer.
here.
Yeah.
Your desire and your need.
Sure. Just so you know, I obviously run the worship ministry. I also run the tech ministry, which includes just like anything you're seeing on the screens that's happening is part of our tech team. All of the mixing of sound and audio is also our tech team. And so one thing I love about both teams is this is the one opportunity we have to actually put words into people's mouth that we're like actually encouraging you to sing and speak out truth of who God is. And everyone on both teams is a part of being able to bring that forth, of putting truth into our mouths and allowing us to actually speak them out or sing them out, which is a beautiful thing. But yeah, my needs are obviously in tech. So we have roles on the computer. We have roles mixing sound. If you're like a sound guy and you know how to mix sound, that's amazing. We need musicians. So we need guitar players, bass players, piano players, drummers, whatever instrument, a kazoo. And I'm just kidding. Please, if you play kazoo, please don't audition for us. We don't want that. I don't know. Might be a song who could use kazoo. But we need musicians. Actually, all of our volunteers, almost all of our volunteers on our worship team and on our sound team are from other churches. And so we need like Refuge people to like step up. So if you play an instrument, if you like to push buttons on a computer, and if you like to mix sound, you could even like be like, I don't like her voice, I'm gonna bring it all the way down. No, I'm just kidding, you wouldn't be allowed to do that. But yeah, so I would love to have you on my team. I would love to talk to you about that this week.
Great, I love it. They will all three of them will be out at a table right in the parking lot when you leave the serve tent. And man, if you have a serve card, they're in the seat backs in front of you, and you want to fill that out before, or just take it out blank, and they can talk to you about different ways you can jump in. This is also just a way we grow up as a church. Like you heard Brittany say, we have been blessed with real life volunteers from Real Life Church and Mission Church in Ventura. And we've slowly taken that on ourselves, but we kind of have to keep going and take a few more steps up. So I just want to pray for this all. I'm super grateful for the three of you and the way you lead. And then, man, I believe we're just going to see a movement in serving.